pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Now, I have a long list of items to talk about here, but the first item is a resolution, which I will read.
Should we call roll call first? Roll call?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Roll call and approval of minutes, yeah. Let's do those things first.
Okay.
Getting ahead of myself. Thank you, Angel.
Okay, attending Angel Molina,
Here.
Catherine Del Tufo, Nathaniel Waterman, and
Mary Herman.
Mary Herman. Thank you. Humidity is not my friend.
No, it's nobody's friend.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I was sitting here sending texts. The minutes. Did everyone receive the minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes.
So made.
Seconded? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Now, we can do the resolution. The town is applying for a grant from Department of State, Smart Growth Comprehensive Planning Grant Program, for funds to hire a consultant to help with the comprehensive plan revision and zoning update. And I was asked to support it by Robert Drake, and so I'll read the resolution. The Shandaken Conservation Advisory Council recommends and supports the town's proposal to add smart growth and other sustainability principles to the town's comprehensive plan, and to seek assistance and funding through the Smart Growth Comprehensive Planning Grant Program. Could I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So made.
Second.
Seconded? All in
Twice.
favor?
Aye.
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 And I will say, oh, hi, Caleb. I will say, you might want to sit up here. The only microphones that are working are up here today. So the resolution was passed by a vote of 4 in favor, 0 opposed. A quorum of the CAC is 4 votes. So before you leave, we have to sign this and get it official. So we did pass the resolution to support the application by the town for a grant to hire a consultant to help with the comprehensive plan.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Okay, so the report from the 4th of July parade. Bruce isn't here, but I attended, and Michael Trophy attended. And Autumn Brookmeyer and her kids helped carry the banner, and they were adorable. And a good time was had by all. It was a very short parade. I think it took about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So the weather held out.
The weather held out, yes. And then the parade ended in the Parish Field, but that's where the farmers market is located now. So we weren't able to set up a table or do any of that other stuff.
And there was the
Oh, they're in the
Touch it.
field?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where they moved to.
Farmers market is now located in the Parish Field, so we couldn't drive a vehicle in there at that
Right.
time.
plus there was the touch a truck. Weren't there
Yes,
trucks
there were big, heavy equipment. There was an event, there was a fundraiser for the Whitney Hose Company called Touch a Truck, which was just magic. I mean, there were so many children and their parents having so much fun. And the library supported it by giving away free books related to police, ambulance, fire, trucks, all that stuff. So it was a wonderful reception afterwards, and several businesses were there, and Phoenicia Business Association. So, but we didn't have a chance to present ourselves. So the Phoenicia Farmers Market would like us to come, and I was thinking that maybe we should just call it Meet the CAC and have Bruce bring his truck, and we can have that as an exhibit, and we can hand out things and talk to people someday. We have a series of dates, September 3, 17, and 24, and October 1, 8, 29. So I'll have to see if Bruce is available, since I think he's pretty instrumental in this.
And he could bring the world.
Yeah, we could bring the world again. The world was wonderful. It was beautiful. So we'll do it again next year, the parade, I think, and hopefully more people can come. Now, the film Just Eat It, which is, I believe, about food waste, but I haven't seen it. Mike Chaffee has seen it, is going to be shown on August 20th at Phoenicia Playhouse. But I do not know the time, and I haven't seen any publicity about it. So Mike Chaffee and Bruce is the projectionist. So I hope that we can all support this film at that time.
I'm
but
looking forward to it.
I actually will be out of town
Oh.
on that date, so maybe Mary, you could help with the publicity if we figure out. I'll
Well,
get
as soon
it.
as we get more information, then,
Yeah.
Yeah, social media is pretty
I know. But if we
good,
all
but
use,
also- and our posters.
yeah, we'll put it up on the town's website,
Yeah.
of course, and I think the Phoenicia Playhouse will also help support it, and maybe also the community center.
Right, I mean, I put up a picture of the mural that's going up in Big
Yeah.
India, and like over 200 people liked it.
Yeah, it's,
Did you
like-
see there's a reception there this evening?
I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
them
Looked
when I
like
was on my way
wine
there.
and cheese party or something.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I made that up. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
right,
don't
but
know
I
what it
did
is,
see
but
a
there are
crowd.
people they're having a little celebration.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
They're
isn't
very,
it?
very nice. Do you know what they're doing there?
So cool.
Is there a
Yeah,
business or something?
yeah. There's a Catskill Fungi. Are you familiar with that? John Michelotti.
John Carroll,
Oh,
John's
okay,
son.
John's doing that? Oh,
His
okay,
son.
Yeah.
his son is doing that.
And he is an educator, and he makes tinctures, and they use that building for his lab,
Oh,
part of
nice,
it, and the other
nice.
half is his father's wood shop.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
okay.
Yeah, so it has two purposes.
Very cool.
nice.
Yeah. We're having a recycling workshop at the community center on September 20th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. I think that'll be an interesting opportunity to really dig into plastic recycling a little bit.
Yes.
Because that is a serious problem. Only 5 to 6% of plastic is recycled. And we have to, find new ways.
I dropped off some stuff today,
Beside this.
and someone had thrown their plastic like storage bins and those pull-out draw things for dividers into the bin, and I went and talked to Joe and I said, there's
Yeah.
a whole lot of stuff in there that is totally not recyclable, and he said, oh, it's just going to get picked up today, or whenever it's going to get picked up and driven away. And I was like, but that doesn't help the town. I don't know whether the stuff that gets put in there, if it's contaminated, is actually recycled, or
Well,
whether
these
it's
are the questions that we'll bring to the workshop. That's
okay.
that's
And that's at
exactly
the
what the kind of
Pine Hill
question.
Community Center. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's conducting the workshop?
It's Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency. It's Angelina Brandt, their educator.
And I believe that's who picks up all those bins.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, all
I don't
that,
know,
all
yeah.
that stuff out there goes to Ulster
Yeah,
County Resource
yeah.
Recovery Agency. So,
Okay.
so they will be able to tell us exactly what happens.
I've often seen the 90-whatever-year-old Mr. Gasparini going and pulling things that are unrecyclable out of there and swearing at the people that are putting a jar full of jelly. I mean,
Oh.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
there needs to be a little, well, okay, we're gonna go to there on September 20th.
Well, maybe after we do that on the 20th, we can, do some kind of educational thing to people.
Yeah.
Well, there are
You know.
signages
Yeah,
up
there
that
are.
say what is and isn't recyclable.
Right, but it might be one
You
of
know-
those things where you just see it so much you don't pay attention. So
Yeah.
maybe like new signs.
I think it's more like wish cycling
It's wish
and,
cycling.
and, oh, I can throw my trash in here.
Yeah.
There was a big plastic fan in the big metal bin. I'm like, it's a plastic fan, that's not metal. Whatever, sorry.
Okay. Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency is sponsoring a household waste disposal day, August 19th. It's in New Paltz. And another one Sunday, October 22nd in Kingston. And I posted the signage at our recycling center today. Appointments are required. Ulster County residents and residential waste only. There's quite a, you really need to look on the website and register online at ucrra.org to have an appointment. But this is where, you know, you can take your paints, stains, varnish, fluorescent light bulbs, cleaning chemicals, pesticides and insecticides, adhesives and glues, aerosol sprays, propane tanks, mercury devices, automobile fluids, no motor oil, fire extinguishers, and pool chemicals. And then there's a list of unauthorized waste, and it's things like asbestos, fireworks, ammunition and gunpowder, etc. So this is, they have,
Twice a year at both locations.
Yeah.
As far as I recall, I've been going there for 20-something years.
yeah, there are only 4 opportunities, so one in
Right.
August, one in October. Keep these toxic substances out of the land.
Yeah, a lot of them, like you can drop off paint locally and stuff, but I found it a little restrictive, and I called them to see if we could bring it down for like a couple of households, and everybody has to be in the same vehicle. You have to make the appointment at the same time. Like you can't bring it for your neighbors or something. And I just felt
There are
driving
limits,
all
but
the way to Kingston to dispose of it.
Well, you just don't tell them that you're bringing it for your neighbor.
I mean,
I know, I just felt it was
it's-
cumbersome.
It's
that-
like, they're 220 pounds or 25 gallons.
Yeah.
That's a lot of paint you
Yeah.
can bring. They're maximum 24 light bulbs and no containers larger than 5 gallons. So I think you can figure this out one way.
Well,
or
no,
another.
I know, but what I'm saying is, for what I would have in my household.
Yeah.
To drive all the way down there, what I'm gonna spend in gas and time, I just didn't think it was
Yeah,
something manageable.
okay.
I mean, it's a great thing, I just wish they could do it like locally, like if they
Oh.
came to us.
I don't think that's gonna happen. So I wanted to, one other thing where are we on this? Oh, report on disaster preparedness workshop. Well, I attended it at the town of Olive.
Okay.
And they gave me this whole backpack, which I was planning to bring, but I forgot, full of disaster preparedness
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Including, well, meals ready to eat, water, you know, and it's
It's a
quite,
go bag.
yes, it's a bug out bag or something. they call it,
I
a
call
go
them
bag.
go bags. Just,
Yeah.
this is what you got.
You grab this and get
Right.
out of the house. And it has a wind-up radio and a whole bunch of stuff. I'll bring it next month if I
Swag.
remember.
Yeah.
And this is something that we might think about doing in the future
Mm-hmm.
here. Because they really just got 2 people to come and give the workshop for them. I mean, you know, they had to get an audience.
Right.
And they were,
Awesome.
the two people were from Ulster County Emergency Preparedness and Cornell. So, and Ulster is developing, Olive is developing a very extensive disaster preparedness website
Oh,
for the
good.
residents. So we should look at that.
The county of Ulster?
No.
Oh, town of
The
Olive.
town of Olive.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
So we should look at that and see if it's something we might want to do in the future.
And are they just educating people on what to sort of have to stock, and those are the samples of what they believe one should have
No,
in
they're
their
giving,
household?
they're giving that as a, you know,
They're giving them away, so there was funding for that to sort
Yeah.
of hand those out.
yeah. Right.
I mean, I think we should start considering just, just everything that's going on globally, and I mean,
I
even
know.
closer to where we are.
Yeah. And here we sit in the
The impact
floodplain tonight.
Right, right.
Remember Irene?
Yep. So, it was a very successful workshop, I thought. I was pleased I went, and it really made me think. They talked about, putting a lot of your important documents on a thumb drive.
Oh, that's
So,
a great idea.
so that you can, just run away with that. Your
Mhm.
insurance policies and all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
right.
So anyway, it was very, of course, when you attend the workshop, you think about it and make all these plans, and then the next day, I didn't necessarily do all the things that they recommended,
Mhm.
but I think it would be a good thing to host. So our Climate Smart Community request for certification has been submitted to the state. It went in at the beginning of July, and we will hear back whether we have achieved certification in September.
Okay.
Nice.
We received funding from the O'Connor Foundation to start the food waste collection program. And I met with James Amenta, the farmer who's going to do the actual collection and composting, and Peter DiSclafani. And they are proceeding to order the necessary equipment. So I hope that this will be up and running this fall sometime.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, I know. It makes,
It's a
will-
big accomplishment,
a big impact, I
Yeah.
think. Small scale, but big impact.
It's something that's tangible.
Yeah, I agree. I circulated this to the members, but I'll announce it in case someone's watching on television and interested. There's a meeting July 27th. Ulster County is unveiling its natural resource inventory. They have done a county-wide natural resource inventory. There's a Zoom, Zoom is at 11:30, and then there's an in-person meeting that evening in Kingston at the Justice Center.
On the 27th,
On the 27th of July.
yes.
And then on August 30th, it's the Ulster County EMC Roundtable. And I attended that last year. It was very interesting because it was all the CACs came from all the towns in the county. And it was very interesting to meet the other people and to hear what they're doing. And it was a good networking opportunity that, so I hope to go again. If anyone else wants to come, we can carpool.
And where is it located?
I think that it's in the Restorative Justice Center on Broadway in Kingston. I'm not positive.
Let's
Last
put
year
a
was,
question mark.
last year it was at, well, I circulated this to all the members.
Okay, obviously I didn't read it.
But I didn't bring a copy or anything. I don't think. But you can look it up.
There's an email.
So the only other announcement or, item of that sort that I wanted to bring up was last month, we talked about possibly having another public event, and that was a repair cafe. And I wondered if you, Caleb, had done any background on that.
So the first thing I did is I reached out to the Pine Hill Community Center because I know
Yeah.
that you said that they would probably be interested in
Mhm.
that, and they responded. Pull up the email. They responded that they would be very interested in it, and that it looks like they have Saturdays free. So I said we're looking to start in the fall, so they are waiting for us to give some more specific dates. So when we have,
It seems to me that in one of these emails, there is a local coordinator for Ulster County for all the repair cafes. Did you see that?
I don't think I did. What
I
organization?
think it's
are they
on
from?
Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency, on their newsletter.
I can look into that.
Yeah, that I forwarded, and if I remember correctly, there is someone who coordinates these things. So I think that would be the next step.
All right.
I also think there were several of them that were at the Phoenicia Library a while ago. Yes, there were
At the
repair-
library? I thought it was at the parish hall.
Well, it may, but I guess I saw the notices through the Pine Hill, the Phoenicia Library
Yes.
posting. But Liz Potter might have some more information that might be helpful.
Yes. That was an effort in Phoenicia. It was not at the library, I don't believe, and it was before COVID. It was a while ago. But I know the man who kind of put it together, and I will see if I can get his contact for you, Caleb.
Yeah, I'll reach out and definitely ask if he would want to
Yeah.
be a part of it or any advice.
Yeah.
There was, this past Saturday was another mending cafe at the Pine Hill Community Center.
Yes, I saw this.
And
Those
it
were
was great, and
Yeah.
actually people asked about that.
Interesting. Yeah, I put it on a few websites. So
And one
Oh.
fellow came and he said, can I come get my lamp fixed? And
Yeah.
we were like, I told him we were working on it, so.
Yeah.
soon.
I have a blender that needs to be fixed.
All right, well, let's keep that bubbling,
Yes.
and I will see if I can find that where I saw the coordinator.
Yeah,
the
and
name of the coordinator.
as soon as we have dates, I will respond to the community center and get maybe
Yeah,
a bit more
yeah.
certainty on if it would
Okay.
work.
Well, I know that Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency puts it on their newsletter, so scheduling it further ahead would be important, I think. All right, committee reports. Not sure if we have any
Well,
new compost, we've already covered that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I feel like, you get to it first. So
Yeah.
we have a grant for compost.
we do. It's really terrific.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled that the O'Connor Foundation,
And the comprehensive plan, I'll just move into that, is
Yeah.
moving along. And I'm glad to hear about the certification went in, so we'll be bronze.
hopefully.
If it's accepted, it will be accepted. And I was looking today, actually, on their website, and you get quite a few points for working on your comprehensive plan, so
Yeah,
I'll keep that updated. But, yeah, we're plugging along.
yeah. Well, Rob couldn't be here, and Bruce couldn't be here, but he gave a report saying that there's no new information regarding funding or pricing for EV charging yet. So that's still waiting in the wings. Now, the Government Operations Climate Action Plan project, which Caleb has attended some of the sessions and Angel attended some, and I attended them. And I've been struggling trying to put some information on paper for this. And when I get this, I'm going to meet with Melanie this week, and I'm going to see if I can get her to help me. It's just a little confusing, knowing the difference between goals, strategies, implementation. Seems like I'm saying the same things over and over again. And then I'm gonna circulate it to everyone for your comments and additions, I hope, because I feel really, could really benefit from everyone else's input. They've created a template, so I'm filling in information in the places where they tell me, you know, to fill in. But some of the information I'm filling in is, you know, from what I would like to see. So it's not, you know, it's not factual necessarily, it's subjective. And I'd like to make sure that everybody else is on the same page, or we all agree. And then we can submit it to the town.
Perhaps we can do some kind of Zoom workshop among ourselves that we can.
That's a good idea, yeah. When I finally get it to the point where I can circulate it, that would be, I think, helpful. And last month, we talked a little bit about the next step in this process. You know, we did the greenhouse gas inventory, and now we're doing the climate action plan. The next one is the community climate action plan. And that starts again in the fall. And I decided to go ahead and sign up for it. And if anyone wants to join me, I would love it, you know, because I think it's an opportunity that's really too good to pass up, to have all this free assistance. And I don't know how much longer that free assistance is going to be available. This is, you know, part of the next steps in our certification process. You know, it's a priority item, it has points, blah, blah, blah. And that's not really why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I think it's important. And so I guess what I should do is to circulate the sign up, and maybe anyone interested can sign up.
Yeah,
Okay?
I can help you on that as
Yeah.
well.
Okay, I'll circulate it to everyone.
And that's in the autumn.
Yes, it'll be, I think it's only 4 meetings. They're Zoom, yeah.
Oh, okay.
4 Zoom meetings. And they do a lot of preparation for us. They collect a lot of data for us, and I mean, it's really, I thought it would be overwhelming, but I'm not sure I really even know what a community action plan is. So I figure I might as well find out and see if we can do it. And if we can, I think it would be a good effort, good for us.
Has any of our counterparts participated in that program, like Olive, Town of Olive?
No, the town of Olive hasn't. You know, they're ahead of us in some parts, and not, you know, they have their own.
Perhaps Woodstock. I mean,
Yes, I don't know if Woodstock has done it. When we were on the calls, there were many other towns that were represented, remember, on the Zoom. But they were farther away.
they were, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Natural resource inventory. Well, we had a awakening.
Yeah, and so we're on a little bit of a hold until we can try to find some assistance and funding
Right.
for grants to help us actually
Yeah.
produce this document.
At the last meeting, I mentioned that I'd had some calls from the town of Olive, and they wanted us to participate in a open space plan with them. And we looked into it a little bit, and I actually met all the people at that disaster preparedness workshop, which was just a few days after our meeting. And they withdrew the offer. They're not applying for that grant. It was too overwhelming. And then I met with Catherine and Peter, and we kind of talked about prioritizing for the town, what was their, you know, biggest need, and that was really for the comprehensive plan. So I hope they'll be successful, and the comprehensive plan will move along, and then we'll follow as soon as we can with the natural resource inventory and get funding for a consultant to help us with that. So that is pretty much all I had on the agenda. Anybody have anything else they wanna
I do.
discuss? Okay.
Yeah, I was a little emotional last week because, you know, my daughter's not even 40 and she's been through 3 historic floods. And my grandchildren have been through 2. And, then it went to the planning board and because it
Why don't you
was-
say what are you
Oh,
talking about? In case-
okay, so at the, comprehensive plan meeting, it came out that the Bel Air Plaza, everybody's been eagerly waiting its reopening. And they've been keeping it pretty much under wraps what they wanna do. And it came out that they wanna put in a drive-through Dunkin' Donuts along with their gas station. So I went to the planning board meeting, and I couldn't really get a read on the planning board, but I was told that if it's not in our zoning laws, then it's not allowed. But the planning board said that they could do it by special permit. And I just think putting in a drive-through restaurant in our town is a really bad idea. Because, you know, look at what's happening with the climate, and you have these vehicles that are gonna be idling online, and there's a lot of documentation out there about if, and I'm sorry, I forgot to, I had some documents to print out, some flyers from the, the Department of Energy, and an idling car, if you let it idle for like 3 minutes, it's the equivalent of driving 5 miles. And the average time that a car is in the queue after they order is 3 minutes. So depending on the circumstances, you know, you could be sitting there for 10 minutes with your car idling. And I just, I think if they do give them a special permit for this, it's gonna open the door for you know, you're gonna have a precedent, and then other drive-throughs may wanna come through Shandaken, you know? You have the service station in Big Indian, you have Ford's Garage over by, Broad Street Hollow. And I just think as a climate action committee, we should be concerned about this, you know? And I mean, there are other issues too, about community character and the like. Pine Hill, we got declared a historic district in 2012, and there's like 5 or 6 historic properties on the National Register. And I don't think it fits in with the community. But our concern should be the emissions.
Anyone else have any? I would like to say that I've been concerned about and interested in this. I mean, I went to Bel Air Plaza every day for years. And I found the planning board minutes of the June meeting on the town website to be very informative. Pages and pages of information about what they're planning.
No.
So I would recommend,
So I
you know,
guess it's just
checking the,
There's been all these things around town, and I know people have asked about it, and all we heard was it was a guy who owns a gas station in Rosendale, and he owns
Stone
20
Ridge.
Well, he owns 21 gas stations.
I heard a much bigger number, but, okay.
And we're not gonna be getting the little grocery store cafe that Bel Air Plaza was. We're getting a
Right.
gas station.
And hardware
And a
store.
convenience store.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
But we're also getting a laundromat and a
Yes, and they
liquor
will be
store.
putting the laundromat back, and they're gonna lease the liquor store.
So, I mean, the laundromat is an enormous asset.
That is a need.
And the bus is going to be stopping there and they'll be selling tickets. You know, that's an improvement too for for transportation. So, I would encourage everyone who's concerned to go to the public hearing, which is August 9th, I think.
The next
Yes.
planning board?
Planning board is
Planning
having a public hearing.
Is having a
August
public hearing on
August
August
9th.
9th. And, you know, we're The Conservation Advisory Committee, we advise the town board, and I don't feel it's in our purview to advise them on this subject, and I don't really know enough about it yet. You know, I think after the public hearing, we'll have.
Well,
the-
they could vote and pass it during the public, right after the public hearing.
Possible. Or they could continue the public hearing to the next month.
All right.
Chances are it won't sail through quite so fast. It depends on what happens at the public hearing.
Well, I would think this committee would be concerned about the emissions.
Is
Well,
there-
you know, it's a gas station too.
Well,
I mean-
but it's law that you have to turn off your
Anti-idling, yeah.
car when you're gassing up. We're talking
Yeah.
about people sitting in a queue, and we know how long that's gonna get on weekends when the ski area is.
Well, people may well choose to get out of their car and walk in, you know, instead of waiting in a long line of cars. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but is it proposing that they're gonna do a drive-through, or where you're gonna park and then go
No,
inside?
they're gonna have a drive-through around the back of the building.
Oh, so they have enough
and
of
they-
a
and-
footprint in order to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
No, I believe they're modifying it.
They're gonna modify that footprint anyways.
Yeah, they said-
All of
Accommodate.
this is, you know, got to be reviewed in the plans and,
Right.
It's a very narrow piece of property,
Correct.
the way
It
it's,
is.
It goes,
it's existing
it goes
now.
uphill, and
Yeah.
they're increasing the size of the building by 40%.
hmm,
And they're gonna move the laundromat to the other side.
right, where the trash containers are.
Yeah.
Is there any precedent of a CAC having an effect on these kinds of decisions in the town? Is that within our domain of?
There's an
Well,
advisory council.
it's a planning board issue. That is the part of town government that reviews
Right.
plans for construction. So that's the body that has the authority to make statements and
Right.
request changes, yeah. But we should,
We're an advisory committee, right?
Well, we could advise them on this.
the planning board,
Yeah.
I don't have enough information
Yeah.
to consider advising the planning board at this point.
I agree. I have just another brief thought in my head that I've had, which is unrelated to this, but we can finish this and then I'll broach my brief thought.
Yeah, I say outside of this body, it's different as citizens of the town. We have the right to express our opinions as residents, and I think, but as this committee, I don't think that we have, as Beth said, we don't have the authority.
Well, I know we don't have the authority to tell them what to do, but we certainly were formed to look into conservation issues, and I would think that gas emissions would fall under that.
Well, it does, but I can't, it's too hypothetical at this point to be making a statement about something that we have no idea how it's, what their business plan.
Yeah. And it's specific to, where we're talking about governmental and sort of town-wide, where our scope is a little bit more, and that's sort of more focused on an entity rather than the larger public good that we're trying to
All
sort
right,
of
forget it then.
do, so.
It's not necessarily something to be forgotten about, but as more information becomes available, if it is going to be a drive-through or not a drive-through.
It is gonna be a drive, that's what the guy wants, he wants a drive-through.
Well, that's what he wants, but the zoning and planning hasn't decided that that's acceptable or even a possibility at this point. Correct? It hasn't been
No,
determined
no,
that
it
that's allowable. Just because the guy wants it doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
The planning board, I was given the impression, and you can watch the tape and tell me if I'm wrong, they think they could give it to him by special permit. And they're gonna have a hearing before the planning board meeting. And as these things have worked in the past, is they have the hearing before the planning board meeting, then they have the planning board meeting and they vote on it. So I believe that it will be voted on August 9th. And I just think we don't have anything else in this town where cars are in a line while they're idling. And there are cities all over the country, the Orchard Park, New York, Boston, Minneapolis, California, that there are cities that are banning drive-throughs because of the vehicle idling, or they're passing laws that you can't idle for more than 2 minutes. In New York City, you can't idle for more than 2 minutes. New York State has a law that diesels cannot idle for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think that a special permit is issued by the zoning board of appeals. So, after the public hearing, if they agree that this needs a special permit, they will have to go to the zoning board
I
of
see.
appeals for
Well,
the
that's-
special permit.
That's reassuring.
Yeah. All right. Catherine, did you have something you wanted to bring up?
Okay, it's just a pipe dream of mine. I thought of something called a Green Star program for Phoenicia businesses, which would, and I was hoping Michael Chiaffi would be here, to start eliminating plastic and styrofoam and non-recyclable containers from the businesses, especially that sell foods. So if Phoenicia Diner, let's just pick that out as our example, decides we're gonna only have paper straws. I believe that their takeout containers are,
They are. I was there the other day.
completely recyclable, which means that there's no plastic coating on any of the cardboard, etc. They could get a Green Star, put it up in their window. We could have a sign on the town that says Green Star businesses are plastic free. There could be refillable water stations in certain businesses at town, so people can, instead of buying those horrible plastic bottles, bring their refillable plastic, water bottles and refill. It's just, it's like I said, it's a pipe dream, but I just thought
Nice.
it might be something to think about. Paper straws, no styrofoam, no plastic coated cardboard, et cetera, et cetera. Just something I thought
like
would be
that.
nice, and then we could have our own little thing that could maybe expand to other towns, like, oh, the Green Star program, yeah, wow, that's a great idea. Let's do
I
that
like the
here.
idea.
Yeah, I like that too.
Along those lines.
Put that in minutes.
Okay.
Rob isn't here, but I was thinking of the home energy audits. I remember years ago, we had NICEAG come to our house, and we were renting that house at the time. But they came around and they gave us some tips, and they gave us light bulbs. And I still have those light bulbs in my laundry room. This light bulb
It's still
is
running.
over 30 years old.
Yeah.
It's in my, it has to warm up before it gets bright.
Yeah.
But it's still working. But I was thinking with the home energy audits, maybe if we, gave out some prizes, like had a drawing and came up with some prizes, like I'm in love with your little placemat that you bring to potlucks. I mean, I would be willing to make some of those.
Yeah.
And then whoever gets an energy audit, we could do a raffle and they can maybe win something.
I have reached out, the town of Olive had a public meeting for about the Empower program, which is the program of NYSERDA that does
The audits.
the audits. And I reached out to the guy, and he's putting me in touch with someone from Ulster, who is now the representative of that program.
Okay.
And I was thinking that it would be another workshop that we might have in the future,
Okay.
would be a New York Empower workshop, and invite the residents to come and learn more about it with a full-blown PowerPoint slideshow and all that. It's something to, more public education and involvement in the future. But Pine Hill Community Center is having a housing fair on September 26th, I think.
Yes.
I didn't hear
And
that.
I'm hoping 5 to 8 on the 26th of September. And I'm hoping to get this man, whose name escapes me, but I think it's Michael Murphy, to come to that and hand out information, and then get to know him, and then we can, from there, we can think about whether we want to have a bigger meeting and ask people to attend. I mean,
What was that date?
September 26th.
5 to 8.
Tuesday?
Yes.
Michael Murphy, the singer?
I'm not sure that's his
I'm
name,
kidding. I'm just
but
I
think
pulling
it
your
is.
leg.
I would have to look on my phone.
I forget
Um,
what song he sang.
So I think we're almost finished at the, Angel.
I just want to make one quick comment, and just to piggyback off what Mary said. In the beginning, remember in the beginning, in terms of like sort of, we talked about sort of the scope of what we wanted to do as a committee, and sort of put the show on the road, as I sort of mentioned, with sort of some of the programs that may be available, like the home energy audit, remember that, and that gentleman that came that did from the Red Cross, did the presentation with the smoke alarms, and I handed out flyers at the Pine Hill Community Center, which some people took advantage of. I thought that maybe perhaps, we could have just a small menu of some of the things that we're doing, the recycling, the food waste, and just a couple of things that we can continue to promote that we've already established, maybe for the movie, and just sort of have these things as our education component.
Yeah.
That
Definitely.
perhaps in that way they don't fall by the wayside. You sort of do it and it goes out, and then we forget about it. And that way it's a continuum. That way we can kind of keep
Right, I know.
enrolling people
I
in
mean,
these.
I thought about having a climate fair sometime, where we could have a lot of information from disaster preparedness and, home energy audits and
Right.
something like that.
Right.
But at this moment, I haven't, if someone would like to take that on as a project, that I would be very supportive.
No, it's switching to the clean energy, where there was a couple of small things that were sort
Yeah.
of really low hanging fruit
Yeah,
that would be helpful to the town residents. And I thought,
yeah, I know. That's definitely one of them. I will not be here for the August meeting. I would welcome someone else if they want to chair the meeting, or we could cancel the meeting and take a month off. My deputy Bruce is in favor of canceling.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But if
is he?
someone else wants to,
Oh, he usually takes your place.
exactly.
Oh, but he's
He thinks we
voting.
need a break. We've been working so hard. Well, that was at the 4th of July that he said that. So if we decide to cancel it, we have to decide tonight.
Oh.
Because we have to give public notice, and Tom and Leanne need to know, and et cetera, et cetera. So does anyone want to chair the meeting on August 21st?
Don't jump.
Don't all yell at once.
Well, without everyone being here, it's hard to actually make that decision, and it seems like we've got a lot of people doing a lot of things during the summer. Not
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
maybe we do need a break and we can come back refreshed.
You know, just take a survey online of your membership and see.
No, I
Everyone
would,
might wanna just take the month off.
I think if we, you know, we're missing so many members, I don't wanna delay this and, you know, kick the can down the road. I'd like to make a decision tonight if we can.
Well, as I said, without all of our members being here, and Bruce already making a statement that he thinks we should take the month off, and you're not going to be here, who's our
Yeah.
leader, I think that that's probably a good idea. We can come back refreshed in September when it's,
What do you say?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I motion that we take the next meeting, we're gonna cancel. August
Okay.
21st meeting, we're gonna postpone that meeting.
We're gonna not postpone it, we're gonna cancel.
We're gonna cancel
Yeah,
And then meet in September?
yeah.
September 21st.
well, it may not be the 21st, it will be with the third Monday of the month, which I
I
don't have
can
a
tell them.
calendar in front of me. I could look up my calendar on my phone.
September 18th will be the next meeting. And perhaps by that time, we'll know if we've been certified.
And then
And,
we can have cake.
and more, yeah, if we're certified. Well, I'm looking forward to, the startup of the compost program.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're certified, I'd like to have a public event, invite some politicians and,
We can have
Cut-
a cake
cut a
that
ribbon?
looks, a cake that looks like compost.
oh yeah, right.
I'm sure Marge Gallagher will come.
Yeah, you know, we'll see what happens, but,
Actually, that's a great idea. I think it would help to publicize us and,
yeah,
you
it
know.
would give us a, yeah.
Boost.
We've been working pretty hard to get all this done in the last, 15 months,
Mm.
you know. If we succeed in getting certified, I think that'll be a major accomplishment, obviously.
For the Repair Cafe, I said that I would get the Pinehole Community Center. I'd give them a few dates, and I said I wanted to start in the fall. So I think it might be good to get them some dates before the September meeting, since might be kind of close to when we would want to
We
begin.
could do that by email.
Yeah, so I can start an email thread and just
Oh,
post
yeah.
it to.
Yeah.
No, I got that out.
Let me look into this coordinator business, because I think it would be good to work within the Repair Cafe system if we can.
No, definitely. Send his contact info if you want me to reach out to him. I would definitely be happy
I
to do
will,
that.
I'll give you his info.
Great.
Let you organize it, that'd be terrific.
Blenders, vacuum clean.
I just want everyone to know that my phone case is fully compostable.
Sweet.
Mine too.
No, truly, it really is.
Nice.
I got one.
Okay. And I haven't tried it yet. 'cause I'm-
My husband gave me this, otherwise I wouldn't have.
All right, I guess,
We're going to adjourn.
yeah.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn,
So made?
second.
Oh, well,
Second?
oh, Mary, you're adjourning, Angel's seconding.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. 7:25.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
okay.
Now, we have to execute this resolution thingy.
Oh, you all have to sign it?
Oh,
Well, we
right.
could,
Or-
at the meeting the following